right, it's Sunday setup time. How'd you guys like the music? Trying something new. But actually today is Saturday. I'm recording, so if you see a little bit discrepancies on my charts, that's why. My son has a wrestling tournament tomorrow, so I thought I'd get the Sunday setups recorded today. It doesn't really matter because we look at high level daily charts on our Sunday setups just to look for support and resistance zones. So, thank you for checking this out today. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to catch my Sunday setups every week. And I post those on my Telegram channels. I post this on my Telegram channels as well. So if you are part of that group, you will get it right inside the channel. And I will provide the links to my free manual trade signals in the body of this video. And I will also provide a link for my paid signals where you'll get all of my discretionary trades I take each week. All right, let's jump right in and see what we got going on here. So I'm going to go from bottom up this time. Usually I start with the Australian dollar pairs. Today, let's mix it up. Let's go with the U.S. pairs first. All right, so let's look at USJPY. So we've kind of been watching this pair slowly go up. It's kind of stalled out on this resistance level. Used to be support over here, became resistance here, and price is just struggling to get above it. So we are definitely bearish there. Now, as you can see, we have this trend line up, and now the price is kind of consolidated and broke that trend line. So that's why I've moved my bearish zone down from up here, if you guys could see that, from this R2 level. Now I'm going to look for price to retest this former support, and I'm going to be looking for a bearish trade. Obviously, if it blows through this support, it starts to create a new high. This would be our bullish zone, but I'm pretty bearish on this pair. I think the U.S. dollar has some trouble coming its way, especially when the president is doing everything he can to devalue the dollar to help his trade deal. There's a little bit of fundamental analysis wrapped into this. So there's obviously no trade quite yet on the daily. So on the open tomorrow, Sunday, I'm going to be looking for price to shoot back up, to test this support. Then I will be posting on my Telegram channels when I take the trade. All right, let's go to the next pair. US dollar CHF. All right, so you can see we've identified a kind of a trading zone. So price has been bouncing between these 2 points on the daily. And as you can see, price ended the week pretty much right in our bearish zone here. Looks like it shot up, tested this, and has already started its way back down. This is a perfect scenario for how I trade, where I'm looking for price to jump in our zone. It did. It tested the back side of it. That was a perfect entry point. But don't beat yourself up too much, because that was at the end of last week. Fridays are usually, if it was at the end of the day, it would have been great to be in this buy trade here and hold this all week, and that would have been a great time to close. However, doesn't mean we've missed out on this trade. Just means we're going to turn this one red because it's hot, and I want to look at that one right when markets open and spreads drop. So I'm going to be, sorry, I dropped my pin here. All right, so let's go to the next pair. US dollar CAD. So we've had this kind of bearish channel. Hold on here. We've had this bearish channel written on our chart for quite some time now. And last week we saw it break through. We're looking for the retest. That's why we have this bullish zone right here. Now, one thing I want you guys to be careful of is you could see how we had this top channel kind of scrape the top here. And we drew it to the top of this candle or the top of this retracement. Now we see this break. It very well, this is the fun part about people's perception, right? If you go across the top of those, now you can kind of see maybe we didn't have a channel break. Maybe this was a pullback, this would be a pullback, and this should be bullish. And or if that's truly that top, we should be bearish right now. And our bullish should be down at this next support level. You see how easily this could be changed. That's the fun part about charting and doing technical analysis is one may see the tops of these wicks and a price respected resistance. It is now bearish. For me, because these are so close, we had that kind of drawn before, and you see this retest. If I do take this bull trade right off this retest, it's gonna be a really small position. And we don't have much room before you're at resistance again. Don't get me wrong, this is a daily candle, so that's a really strong push. And we can already see that we've rejected price in this range twice. So I'm more on the fence of this setup here now that we've had some time and looked at it. Plus, like I was telling you guys, I think the dollar has some troubled days coming. I also want to consider we're getting into the holiday season, the holiday slowdown in the markets. Last week was really slow. This month has been a little bit slow, and historically for me, December is a really bad month of trading. Don't ask me why. I have my theories, but don't expect any big moves. Well, there might be some big moves, but don't expect price action to kind of respect the normal, I guess you would call them rules of technical analysis in December. If you remember last year, we had the dollar just plummeted last year. The stock market took a crash all the way down to the 200 period moving average, which means we just had a massive reset last December. That caused the dollar to be a little bit in panic. And then on January 2nd, we had the flash crash, which, I was in and we survived, but it wasn't fun. So we need to be very careful going into the holiday season. And I like this trade better here. I'm more bearish, especially because the upside, you have resistance right here. You've rejected price here twice. If we draw the tops of these wicks, you can kind of see we're following this trading range. I definitely like this all the way down to the pivot level here. All right, let's speed things up here. So Canadian dollar, US CAD is what we're on. So let's turn that red because we're in our zone. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. All right. So we are in our bearish zone. It's kind of a big bearish zone. So let's shrink that a little bit. You can see price definitely is respecting this resistance. On Thursday last week, made a little comeback. We're right at the part where we're going to break the low of the day before, and I like this pair bearish this week. We missed the top, but that's okay. I like it at least down to this pivot level. And if you jump on my free trade signals Telegram channel, you'll see when I take this trade, if it's one of the 3 I put on there each week. Or you could join my paid signal service where you'll get all of my trades. But this pair is definitely hot. Got a lot of reds. Looks like we had some good price action at the end of the week. All right, New Zealand dollar, Japanese dollar. So this is Japanese yen, sorry. This is a trade we took last week. We actually got stopped out. We entered here, it shot up, it stopped us out. I'm not happy about it because, as you can see, we'd be well on our way in profit. But I still like this pair short. Here's why. We are flirting with this bullish, bearish area here. We keep testing this resistance. Every time it tests this resistance, we're getting more and more confident of that level. You have a lot of room down here to the pivot would be TP1. Down to this bullish area is a TP2. We have a lot of fundamental news going to drive this pair this week. So I like this pair short, but as you can see, if we would have took short here, we've been in this painful wave for 2 weeks. So definitely use a smaller time frame as an entry, or really small position size. Wait as long as you can up here, take that short trade, and then just hold it. You just hold it till you either see a break of this line, a decent break, you close it for a loss, or wait for it to come all the way down. I like this one red too because it is really close to our bearish zone. All right, New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc. All right, so where we have our resistance drawn, you can see a break, right? Touching these wicks, you can see a false break there. Price reversed in this area before. Basically, since this break, we've been bounding between these 2 levels. Now, this is where I want to show you guys. You breakthrough traders that see this break and, let's buy. No, what you're going to want to wait to see if this is a true break is price to kind of go for a little bit further up, retest this, now confirm that this is support, and then you would want to switch to bullish here. Right now, I'm still bearish because right now I am still bearish because this could be a false break. We're going to see it retract back down, and then we're going to want to be bearish again down to our pivot for TP1, down to our bullish zone for TP2. All right, guys. I'm going to turn this one red because we want to watch this closely. New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. All right, so here's where we had a true break of our trend, or our sideways consolidation pattern. So now we have the true break. We have the retest. We should have been, we are bullish right here. It confirmed this as support. Now, what we're looking for on this pair is you can kind of see we have formed a upward support trend. Sorry. Man, I just got done working out, so my brain's not quite working trading quite yet. But you can see we have a really strong resistance here. So we're kind of waiting to see, is this respecting that resistance? And then now we're going to see a downward trend. So we're kind of in the middle. We needed this to happen. So you can see right here where price is respecting this level. It was definitely respected that level again. And, you don't want to be buying right here and then only getting to here. What I want to see is a true double top on a smaller time frame in this bearish zone, and then we're going to get bearish again and then reevaluate what price does here. I the pivot is obviously below this level, so I like this pair. If we see this double top, we get bearish, we take a sell trade. I like this pair. Definitely to this bullish zone we have as TP1, and then I want to see price. You have a high probability of it coming back down to this pivot level. All right, let's go to the next pair. New Zealand or British pound, US dollar. All right, so this one we had some action on. So let's go down to a smaller time frame so we can see. So we had a double top and we sold here. So this would have been really good profit. We had a retracement and we had another drop. So now what we're looking at is price is sitting right here at this former pivot level. It blew through last week's pivot, and you can see we're respecting it. So what we want to look for here, I don't like this pair anywhere in here. I like this pair all the way back down to our bullish zone here, and then we're going to see if it respects this former resistance as a new support, or if we break this level, we might just become bearish here if we see a break of these lines, and we might be bearish all the way back down to this support. So this one, just leave it orange. We're in the middle of our analysis here, and we need some more information before we take a trade. British pound, New Zealand dollar kind of have the same exact look, right? Except for this one has already dropped into our bullish zone. But just like we said on the last pair, we are going to wait to see what price does at the backside of this level. If we see on a smaller time frame some bullish, maybe on a 5-minute chart, you see a trend line break to the upside, we will get bullish. This would be a perfect place to take this buy trade, because as you can see, we are in a bullish flag, just like on, let's jump back to bullish flag. So that's why I'm primarily bullish here. If I see this drop back down, boom. And I like this level up here as profit target. Okay, let's jump to British pound GB or JPY. So this is a trade we took, and as you can see, we had a double top. That's why we entered here, and it's in good profit. So here's where I have TP1, and then I have TP2 down here. But you can see price kind of stalled out right at this support level. So I actually took this trade off the table last week and took the profit. I know all of you listeners out there or traders out there that let your winners run. I get it. But I also hate leaving this pair on over the weekend because a lot of crazy stuff happens to this pair. So if we drop down to a smaller time frame, you can see when profit hit this pivot or this S2 level, I took it off. Mostly because we had really good profit, and never hurts to make money. So we're gonna turn this one orange because I want to see what price does here. I would love to see it come back up, retest this bear zone, and we'll get bearish again. If we see a good break of this, I love this pair short down to the pivot, down to our take profit, TP1 and TP2 on this daily. British pound, Swiss franc. Okay. Okay, I want to show you guys something. If we go back to British pound JPY, same exact setup. That if you caught it up here, we made some good money. So British pound Swiss franc is right in that same scenario right now. So this one is going to be red because I want to get into it I want to confirm this early. I love this pair bearish. It's tested this level multiple times. Can't seem to break above it. And, by Sunday night, I like this pair as a sell, at least to this pivot level, if not back down to this former resistance, or see what it does on our trend line. All right, Euro US dollar. All right, so we had a double top, and then we had a retracement. So we got in this trade. Now I want you guys to understand something. Friday on the close and over the weekend, you see these big bearish or bullish candles. It's just where the brokers set the price to start the open on Sunday. So we got short here, made profit. We were watching this retracement. We got short again, and that was this trade we were in. Made some more profit. Now where I like this pair is I want to see what price does when it gets back to this level. It gets back to this level, we may be bullish here. Now, that is the bottom of this support line here. We had a little bit of a retest of it here. So I want to see what price is doing here before I get bullish. You scalpers out there, intraday traders, this kind of gives you the confirmation that you'd be bearish till you get to this zone. So you'd look for small intraday bearish trades. All right, New Zealand or Euro, New Zealand dollar. All right, I like what I'm seeing here. So I see we were bearish up here. Strong bearish candle to start the week. Then we kind of consolidated. Now we're seeing a retest. I'm not going to get bullish right here. I'm going to get bullish here. I'm going to see if it respects this support. If it does, we're going to be in a buy trade. And I love this missed pivot up here as the target. And, we'll get bearish again here. Again, if you want to see exactly when I take these trades, jump on my Telegram channel. I have a free one that we take 2 or 3, 4 trades a week. And then I have a paid one where you will get all of my trades. And then, of course, if you don't have time to trade yourself, go to AllenFx.com, and I run a fully automated trade copy where all you got to do is set up a broker account, link it to my MT4, and it will mirror all of my trades in real time. For more information, go to AllenFx.com. Euro JPY, kind of the same thing. Price is respecting this trend line. I'd love to see a double bottom into our bullish area here and respect this support, and we'll get bullish. And I like it up to this bearish zone. If we see a break of this level, the bullish becomes bearish, and I would be bearish all the way down to this S2 range right here. So we just have to see what's going on here. This one, we're going to turn orange. Euro GBP. Oh, okay. So this dipped into our bullish zone last week. I think we're about ready now. Price is about ready to take a shot, at least up to this missed pivot here. I love when price hasn't touched the pivot yet. We call that a missed pivot. And if we get some good motivation, this is a really good profit target. So I'm going to turn this one red. Euro Swiss franc. Again, price touched our bullish area. So we should have been looking buy. Last week you had a really good profit. now it's kind of looking like it's slowing down. You see this roundy top. Barely got into our bearish zone. This one, I'm still going to wait for price to get a little bit higher, confirm in this range what we're looking at, and then we will get bearish. But where it's sitting right now, price, here's a good example. Price came back to the pivot last week. You see that? So that's why I love having these pivot levels as profit target, and then our support and resistance zones to kind of guide us. So price, we want to see price jump into this bearish zone. We'll get bearish, and we'll look for next week's pivot as a target. It's probably going to be right around this same area, because you can see we came way down here. Price didn't quite go as high, but it still might. And then we're going to see, right about here is going to be the pivot. So this one's going to be orange because we're not quite ready yet. Let's go to Euro CAD, Canadian. All right. So you can see price didn't quite, a little false breakout here. It could be just because we put our line in the wrong spot. But now that we have a turnaround there, let's just kind of touch top that wick, put it there. I love this pair. I'm still bearish on this pair where it's sitting. Price basically just respected this resistance. Now it's showing bearish. It's racing back to this pivot level. May even come all the way down to this bullish zone. So this one's going to be hot red. Euro AUD. All right. So what we got here is got a price kind of came up into our bearish zone and now is showing its ugly head here. I'd want to see this break this pivot level. There's not a lot of room from this long-term trend line we got here. I mean, what we were really looking for last week or the week before was this breakout, a retest, and then we would have got bearish on that retest. But now you can see this is a false breakout. Now what we want to do is we want to see what price is going to do when it retests this trend line. This trend line right here is going to tell us, is it going to respect this trend line and then we get bullish, and do we get bullish and hold that till we get back up into our bearish area. Swiss franc JPY. So this one really, you had a bullish flag, kind of. We did see it kind of descending down, and then now we have the breakout. So last 2 days of the week, we had that breakout. That kind of changes things for me. You could see price basically was in this flag pattern and went bam down to the pivot. Now we want to see what price is doing at this pivot because we may still be bullish. Let's look at this impulse leg on a Fibonacci here. Okay, so price shot down, hit the 0.382 level. The pivot was really close to that level, and then we can see it started to retract from the pivot. Now what we're going to want to see is this a true retracement? It kind of did this sideways thing for a long time, so it kind of rules out this impulse leg, at least in my opinion. We may be looking at a bearish pair all the way back down to this support. So we just need more information on this pair. And so I'm not confusing myself. I'm going to pull this bearish zone down here. And we need to draw a bearish. If price gets back into this area, I definitely want to be bearish. So we had this break. We're touching the pivot. So we just need to see, are we going to get a retracement off that leg? Is price going to break that pivot? If it breaks that pivot, again, our next level is to see if it respected this downward. This could be a retest of this. Then we'll get bullish again here. But we just want to see what price is going to do. Hey, look, we had our bullish way up here. Or bearish. Can't have two of those on there. All right, Swiss franc, JPY. All right, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. All right, so we had a break of the trend. Now it's just kind of just retesting this. So that's what's making us want to be bullish on these retests. It's not quite there yet. As you can see, it came back down to this pivot level. Now we want to see price test this in our bullish area, show bullish confirmation on a smaller time frame. And I love this pair back up all the way to this resistance level. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. Same thing. So if we get this is a really strong resistance level. Touched, it respected it. Now we've been in this downward channel. And as you can see, if we touch top of the wicks, like some of you are very adamant about, price didn't quite get back up to the pivot, but we may be looking at a respect to this resistance. Price come back down. I don't like this sell trade, but what I do like is if we see price respect this, come back down, hit this strong support level in our bullish area, I like this as a buy trade. Or if we see a break of it, this would be a good spot to go bearish. But right now, if you a little bit riskier trade is hitting this sell trade back down to this bullish area. Where's our bearish? I guess we don't have one on here. All right, so let's go to Canadian dollar, Australian dollar. Okay, so price, we had this strong impulse leg out of our bearish zone. Great trade. We had a retracement back up to the pivot. And now price is sitting right here on this, shorter intra-week support. So now what we want to do is look to see, is it going to respect this? If it breaks it, this is a good sell trade back down to the bullish zone. Even higher probability trade would be wait till price hits this strong support area. Look for a buy trade and hold that sucker all the way back up to this week's pivot. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. I'm going to turn this one orange. So, as you can see from last week's analysis, what I'm waiting for, we had a double top. Great time to hit a sell trade. Then we have a break of this neckline. And we have our Fibonacci drawn on this impulse leg. Now what we're waiting for is a retracement back up to one of our fib levels. I like the 0.38. And then we would take another sell trade. So if I take some of this garbage out of here, take this fib line off, you can see we have this double top, sell, we're bearish, we broke. Now we have this strong bearish impulse. Looking for a pullback to confirm this trend. We'll hit a sell trade here, and then we have a really good profitable trade down to this area. Some of you may think you want to catch this up. Don't get me wrong, that's very enticing. But what you got to remember is you're predicting right now that this is the bottom. So basically you are predicting what the market's going to do. Let the market start its way back up, and it's telling you what it's going to do. Then when we hit one of these fib levels, you have a higher probability of that trade. Taking the buy trade here, A little less probability, don't get me wrong. I've done it myself and have won many times because you could kind of see prices losing its 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 steam. It's running out of momentum. And if I'm sure if we go to a smaller time frame, you can see price hit this S2 and made this move up. So if you use smaller intraday traders, when price hits S2 or R2, it's good to go the opposite way, and then you have a small double top, right? So you'd get bearish again after it hit that pivot level, double top. You'd get bearish here. But again, all I'm showing you guys are these bigger time frames where these zones are. And if you want to see exactly when I take my trades, jump onto my Telegram channels. Okay, so Australian dollar JPY, kind of same thing. We're waiting to see what price does on this support. We're in our bullish zone. This one is red. We want to see if we get a break of that line or smaller time frame confirmation and get bullish all the way up to our bearish area or zone. Australian dollar Swiss franc. Okay, we had a break of this trend and now we're in a retest. So I'm bearish here, but we got to be careful this isn't a false break. So this one's sitting right on the backside of our bearish zone, which is going to make me want to make this red. And I love taking the sell trade right here on this pullback. If we were to pull a Fibonacci on here, we're sitting right on the 0.38. It just keeps respecting that level. So, great time to hit a sell trade all the way back down to our bullish zone if you can hold it that long. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. Last pair. So, you can see price respected this resistance, keeps respecting it, and it's sitting right on the pivot. So we're kind of in the middle, no man's land here. We could see price come up, respect this, or break it. Then we switch to the bullish area. We just have to wait. All right, so that wraps up. That wraps up this week's Sunday summaries. Again, I'm looking at the charts on Saturday, so if you find some discrepancies tomorrow, right around the opening, that's why. Don't forget to hit subscribe to this channel or jump onto my free Telegram signals or jump into the paid. If you want all of them, it's pretty reasonably priced, and you'll see when I take all of my discretionary trades, the trade size. I post all of my smaller time frame analysis on those channels, so you can learn as you earn, as we say. All right, so have a great day, and shoot me some comments. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking out there. All right, man, have a good day.